The next item on the list, Teddy Bridgewater, a 1-year deal with the Miami Dolphins. And we had a feeling they were going to be looking for a quarterback.
Yeah.
A guy who doesn't obviously supplant Tua Tagovailoa and in turn activate Tuanon. You kind of got to sneak up on Tuanon. You can't go in the front door of Tuanon. You got to sneak in the back door with Tuanon. 1 year, $6.5 million with $3.5 million in incentives. I haven't seen the triggers yet, but I assume they're premised on actually playing. They're not Odell Beckham Jr. team incentives. They are Antonio Brown performance incentives. So a greater incentive, literally, for Teddy Bridgewater to win the job from Tua Tagovailoa. And, I talked to some people yesterday, and Teddy's going to say all the right things on the way in the door.
That's right.
But there's a thought that Teddy is perfectly tailor-made for the Shanahan offense.
Yes.
And that he's going to get it done with Mike McDaniel.
It's the perfect, really, scenario, I think, for both sides. He's first off for the Dolphins. They want to make it work with Tua. And this is a guy that is not going to make the fan base clamor and be like, we got to see Teddy, we got to see Teddy, we got to see Teddy. Tua will have to play bad or not good, at least, for that to happen. He's not going to be the guy. So there you go. You got a backup who's, obviously played some football and can do some good things in football, but it's not going to be the kind of guy that's a lightning rod backup to where a fan base wants to, see him and can't wait to get him on the field. So that's good for that standpoint. For Bridgewater, it's perfect for him. Wait, let's go to a place that has a good football team and a quarterback that has been a little questionable, and I think really that I might have just as much talent, if not more, and I think I could throw the ball better. It's perfect for him too. Let alone, I think your point's real. Yes, he's going to fit the Shanahan system. He's smart. We know that. Play action pass, get it out of your hands, the bootlegs, all of that. So it's good for the Dolphins, the team that's good, and it gives them a backup plan. I think it's good for Tua. It puts a little guy on his, a guy on his butt a little bit to get him going. And then it protects Mike McDaniel. It does. And their offense, too, and he fits. So I thought that was a good signing by Bridgewater and the Dolphins.
Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater is going to be the consummate teammate, but you know what he's going to do? He's going to walk through the door, and he's got a way of guys gravitating toward him. And look, Tua's been through a lot in 2 years with the Dolphins, and it was ugly last year. But at the end of the year, he won 8 out of 9 games. They're in a great spot. It's a win-win for them if they play it the right way. And with Mike McDaniel, they will. Mike McDaniel, I believe, based on our exposure to him 2 weeks ago, he'll know how to say all the right things at the right time and smooth this all over. But at the end of the day, they got to play the guy that gives them the best chance to win. And it's a meritocracy. And if Teddy Bridgewater's getting it done at a higher level than Tua, and maybe Teddy just kind of – his presence and his influence just kind of gently nudges Tua in the right direction.
Right.
But that incentive package, and that was, we talked about the Christian Kirk deal, and some of the initial reports focused on the high end, up to $84 million. I didn't see a whole lot of up to $10 million when Teddy Bridgewater's deal was first leaked. It was just 1 year, 6.5. You throw in that up to $10 million, it's got a different vibe to it. And I think that this is kind of a deft way for the Dolphins to manage a situation where they know they have concerns about Tua. They're all in with Tua because there isn't a clearly better option that's fallen into their laps. But this Teddy thing gives them protection. And his opportunity is probably going to come in the form of a Tua injury.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say, too. Exactly right.
Year.
Right. Yeah.
And then if he comes in and plays well and wins, then that's when the fans start saying, hey, you know what, we kind of like this guy. He's from Miami. He's always kind of wanted to play for the Dolphins. He's a nice guy. Everybody likes him. Maybe it should be Teddy Non, not Tua Non.
Right. Yeah. It makes a lot of sense.
There's a way it plays out very well for the Dolphins if they need it to.
Agreed. He checks all the boxes for what they need there. And you're right. Tua, we've seen he can get injured. That's a real thing. So they don't want to ruin their chances with a team that's a playoff caliber roster, just with their quarterback going down. And he's not, that huge threat. And I like the rest of what the Dolphins did. Got a running back. Again, it's Mike McDaniel. It's just like we talked about with Mike LaFleur. It's the Shanahan scheme. They need a runner that can plant a foot in the ground to go afterburners up my butt and fly through that hole. Get Chase Edmonds. That was great. They didn't let Gesicki get out the door. Another offense. We talk about they need to find their George Kittle. There they go. They got him. That's a big addition. And then get a value receiver to kind of go along with the group. Cedric Wilson from the Dallas Cowboys. Don't have to overpay, but get a guy that, can do a little bit of everything on the football field, round out your roster. I thought the Miami made some really good tactical moves yesterday, along with re-signing Emmanuel Ogbah.
Yeah, snatching Cedric Wilson from the Cowboys is a big deal because the Cowboys, part of the grand plan, I think, was you trade Amari Cooper.
Right.
And you keep Michael Gallup and Cedric Wilson. You add Chase Edmonds, who was the odd man out in Arizona because they kept James Conner. Ogbah, I thought he was heading for free agency. They get the deal done with him just before it all starts.
Yep.
And this is one of the benefits of tampering. You find out what else is out there, and you decide to stay put quietly. And look, they've been above 500 the last 2 years. They just, if they can iron out some of the dysfunction that is baked into the organization, if Mike McDaniel can do that, stabilize, normalize, Dolphins can make things interesting.
Yes.
In 2020.
No question. It's a team that's not far off. We saw last year how they can get hot and they can play with anybody in the league. Their defense is really damn good. They got just about everything you need on that side of the ball. Ogbah, for the New England defensive scheme that they're running there still, he's defensive end, yeah, but he's got the strength of a smaller defensive tackle where you can move him in. He can play 3-4 stuff. He's got a lot of versatility there. And, yeah, now, we talk about their offensive line. Okay, improve that. Hopefully a little bit as free agency and the draft goes along. And it will get improved because, Mike McDaniel is an expert in that area. He knows how to coach the offensive line and get them on the same page in the run game and the pass protection and all that. So, yeah, I still think, even though it was a little weird start to the offseason with Miami, they're still going in the right direction there, and they've made some good moves yesterday.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.